Hey everybody, I just wanted to give you a little bit of an update and do a collective reading for this week because we are headed into some bigger changing energies here as we move into the full moon in Libra this Wednesday on the 5th of April. Yeah, we're already in April. That's one of the things that I wanted to talk about, how time seems to have been, it's very hard to keep track of time. Time is speeding up, and yeah, we're going through a lot of changes here. So currently we still have the sun in Aries, and as I'm reading this, the moon is in Virgo. So some of the bigger transits that we want to just keep an eye on or just be aware of is we have the sun in a conjunction with Chiron, which is linked to our core wounds, our deepest core wounds, hidden things that we thought we had, survived and passed through, but they left scars. So this aspect is highlighting some deep healing and also possible renewal of concealed trauma. Concealed trauma. These are things that happened in childhood that we may not even have full conscious memory of until now. Whether it's brought up in therapy or it just comes to your realization. Awareness of deeper issues and patterns that are stemming from wounds that have been long buried from past events. So that is an energy that we've been working with. And we also have today the moon in Virgo in a trine with Uranus, who's in Taurus. Our north node of the moon is also in Taurus. This is emotional insight with potential. There's some potential for emotional instability, like deep waves of emotion coming up. But also bringing a lot of awareness and big aha moments, unexpected. This could bring some erratic mood swings where you might feel really like great and then suddenly all this fear pops in, or you're sort of coming out of a big funk or depression into heightened awareness is just like a sigh of relief and seeing life in a better perspective for yourself. There's a potential for emotional awakenings with this energy. For people who are going through the stages of awakening in consciousness, this may burst you through to a whole nother perspective, as I was saying. Or sudden turns of events that really allow big breakthroughs for each and every one of us. And here's a big one. As Pluto just moved into Aquarius temporarily, Pluto makes its first aspect with another planet, and this planet would be Mercury, who is about to go into pre-shadow retrograde not too long from now. But Mercury squaring Pluto gives an enhanced ability for the mind to uncover hidden information. So suddenly things may start to, the truth may start to really reveal. This also could be coming from the subconscious mind, making the unconscious conscious. Thoughts can often become dogmatic, which just is a way of like, I know I'm right. I'm right. You're wrong. This is true. Keep in mind of this energy and try to keep your window, don't box yourself in, and try to just keep your mind open. Analyzing psychological matters can help deflect the intensity and allow you to move towards healing old patterns. So analyzing your own psychological matters and processes through this can help with the intensity of whatever this energy is bringing to you emotionally. This also may have many of us playing detective, seeing almost too closely into the motivations of others. Yeah. So be aware of a sharp tongue. Our instincts are also very sharp in this energy. Pluto is extremely intense. Mercury is the mind and information and communication. And that is in Aries. So this is a new way of thinking, a new way of communicating, expressing, a new way of receiving information. And it's fast moving, just to make you aware of that. Mars has also been in a trine and is still in a strong trine with Saturn. This energy can be a challenge. This is the energy that's been challenging me lately. Hard to get anything done. You may find like obstacles and challenges, or just the different lapses in time. As time is speeding up, it's like, I didn't really get anything done, and suddenly the day's over with. Although things are more thoroughly grounded into your reality right now. Whatever it is, whatever projects, whatever you're working through, whatever you're working on. But there's a potential for a great focused and concentrated energy here. So whatever it is that you do get started or pushed through in this energy is going to have a lasting impact. And with me knowing this, I'm like, so what is it that I want to put all my focus and concentration into if this is a supportive energy for that? It's hard to get into it, but once you do, you're like honed in. So I've decided to put my energy and focus into this aspect, really picking up on energy, reporting the energy, sharpening my intuition, those types of things. So again, like I was saying, we're moving into a full moon in Libra, which is balance within our relationships, most likely, or relationships with other people, but it could be relationship to money, relationship to work, relationship to home, relationship to things that are important to us. And this is really an opening, a door opening into this eclipse season that we are moving into, which may bring us back into Scorpio last May, whatever it is that you were experiencing last year in May, that some of us have were released into a really mystical, magical, fun adventure, and others were left to really go through the trenches of some karmic lessons and karmic cycles. So whatever that is, we are coming full circle back around to sort of hopefully wrap some things up for ourselves. So I'm going to start doing a reading for us collectively. And let's see here. I always get this nudge to do readings right when the sun is like just about to like plop down and on top of me from my skylight. So I apologize for all of the glare, but as long as you can hear me. All right. What are the messages that are for us all, for the collective? Collective message for us all, please. Keep in mind there are other aspects, planetary aspects happening at this time as well. I just read off some of the strongest at this time. Very brief and basic. That's another thing I want to put my focus attention on, is to dive deeper into some of the astrology of everything. You know, I'm following my guidance as well, trying to not control things. So we have the answers you need are coming. Nothing is yet set in stone. What I'm getting from this is, for many of us, we are coming full circle in a big cycle from eclipse season to eclipse season. So we're receiving newer information and insights for our healing, for our growth, for our learning and evolution. So we're getting more and more answers, the answers that you need. You may be asking the universe or someone else or just yourself specific questions. Those answers are coming. Nothing is yet set in stone. So whatever it is that you are experiencing right now that you may have a deep desire for it to change. Sorry, my glasses keep getting really smudgy all of a sudden. You know, either you've been in a lull or a void for a while and you're like, when is this, you know, is this how it's always going to be? Or if you're going through a struggle, or if you're really kind of looking at your situation like thinking that it's something bad's going to happen. Nothing is yet set in stone. Remember, we create these things. We have the ability to shift energy through as you evolve, as you awaken, as you learn and grow about how you channel energy. Everybody channels energy in their own unique way. Some people channel a lot of fast, and I've had a lot of recent readings with people who channel big energy, fast moving energy. And I also channel fast moving energy, and it's tough. I'm really starting to pick up on all of the coping mechanisms that we've used since a very young age to be able to handle the energy that channels us. But when we pinch that energy off, meaning we fall into either a deep program or we're in something that is not meant for us and we're pinching off our actual stream of energy, it's very dangerous. It affects everybody in a different way. For some people, for most people, it's just very uncomfortable. But for those of us who channel very fast moving energy, it can be detrimental. It is very harmful. And so we adopt a lot of coping mechanisms, whether it be through using other substances to try to mellow ourselves down, or we become hyper focused on work or hyper focused on exercise. We form certain addictions in certain ways as our coping mechanisms. We're starting to balance our energy out with the planetary energies. But again, whatever is you're experiencing right now, nothing is yet set in stone. I'm going to start taking more notes on a lot of the information I get channeled through readings and just through life in general, because I'm getting a lot of information on specific patterns that we develop in a young age that may be so unconscious to many, because you just think that's just who you are. That's just how I am. That's just who I am. But when life becomes super uncomfortable and your coping mechanisms aren't working for you anymore, I want to be able to support those who, so you don't, because you can seriously have a nervous breakdown. I've been there. If you don't know how to handle your energy. Expect powerful changes. And I'll show you the cards here. So the answers you need are coming. Nothing is yet set in stone. So if something is not working in your favor or seeming like it's going your way, change the way you look at it. Change your energy, change your focus, because we are in such fertile energy right now. I'm working on this with my finances. This is my biggest challenge right now. And it is a generational pattern of fear through both sides of my family, trying to break this pattern. And it's very hard to do, but I'm aware of the fear that creeps up as the challenges come in, and how if I stay in that fear, if I stay in that panic mode, in that mentality, what I end up doing is falling back into old patterns and just like, what do you do when there's nothing coming in? Well, I go and get a job. Well, every time I do that, I get sucked into a job and I lose my creative element of what I'm actually here to do. So, and Spirit has also balanced me out with supporting me in what I am doing. But it's a nice roller coaster. You know, it's like, I'm great when it's riding okay, but when it dips down, it's like, whoa. So that's where and I'm just giving an example. For me, it's finances. My second house is being hit hard, and my sun sign, which is Scorpio, is in my second house. For any of you who do follow astrology, you'll understand what I'm going through. My Uranus is also in the second house. My Pluto is in Libra, which is getting hit with this full moon. I have a lot of, but I'm aware, so I'm paying attention to my habits and patterns, my energy, my emotions as I flow with these transits, and I'm getting a lot more insight for all of us, because we're all really super connected in this way. Expect powerful changes. Yes, this full moon packs a powerful punch, and I have chills all over my body right now. This full moon, and this actually says new moon eclipse, which will be in 2 weeks. Let me just, I might be able to tell you the date here. Hold on. Yes, on the 19th, new moon in Aries. We are going through powerful change. Expect powerful change. Unexpected, but expect it. And the bottom of the deck, it is look at the bigger picture. And that is exactly what all of this energy is asking us to do. Ultimately, looking at the bigger picture. We're all born here, fully connected to our source energy, innocent and free spirit. And we immediately are washed of our knowing, of our previous experiences here on earth. I mean, if you follow that, but still follow me here, because these messages go deep. And it's such a traumatic experience even to be born onto this planet. And we adapt, and we adapt as we evolve and grow. But as we were also growing, we were going through many different traumas, through the family unit, through society, through just being here on planet Earth, in the density of which many of us have been born into. Yet we still have this connection to our truth, to our, because we wouldn't be alive if we didn't have the prana, the life force energy running through our body that keeps our heart beating, that keeps us breathing air, keeps our bodies, our hair growing, and it keeps it all going. It's also connected to our consciousness and our brain. But we go through many different pathways, and we're molded and shaped, and depending on, everybody's journey is very unique. But ultimately, we are all one, connected by the same web. And when we wake up to that realization, we see, however I treat another is how I'm treating myself. I see myself. I have the ability to see myself in everyone, even if it's just a teeny tiny little aspect. And that's all you need to do to look at the bigger picture. It creates such a dramatic change in your perspective of life in general. Okay. My readings have been really deep lately. I should say the readings. These readings. The answers you need are coming. Loneliness fell with the answers you need are coming. I'm not taking all those. Okay. This is a big message. The answers you need are coming. And it's a lonely journey when you start to wake up in consciousness, and we try to connect to others, our family, our friends, and sometimes we do, but we really hold back a big piece of ourselves because we know intuitively, or we feel, or we're afraid to really show more of our consciousness, our awareness. When you begin to, you will start to open up the other person. When we drop any facade and become more open. And I know it's difficult to be vulnerable. This is not an easy planet to just be fully open to yourself, especially for those of us who have been bullied, have been beaten, have been tortured for being who we are. I mean, look at the past. Look at the Salem witch trials. It's a terrifying thing for many people to just be vulnerable and open. But eventually through the journey, we get chipped away at that, and we start to meet others or meet ourselves that allow ourselves to slowly unpack, undress, so to speak. And that's going to really help. We had to do that alone for the most part. The answers you need are coming for you, for your question, as it pertains to your feeling of loneliness, whether you're physically alone or you just emotionally feel alone, like nobody else gets you. Okay, nothing yet set in stone. We have growth. We have discipline. We have envy and fear. So these are the energies that we're working through right now as possible challenges, but more like emotional awakenings. Whatever it is, we are working through expanding our consciousness and our awareness on ourselves and on our experience so far. Once that awareness is awakened within you, it is important to discipline yourself, meaning it says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. This is the difficult part, especially being here on this planet, is that, and it depends on the people that you surround yourself with or you're surrounded by, and your environment, because they do have an energetic and emotional impact on us. But it is important to follow a discipline within the mind so that you are present and conscious and aware at all times, and not getting pulled into other people's energies or pulled into other people's opinions, or, you know what I'm saying? Envy. Did I show you discipline? Growth and discipline. Envy. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. This is another thing that is people are becoming more consciously aware of. And I'm going to say right now, not everybody is in this boat yet. Okay. But the more of us that are becoming aware of our journey and our consciousness and our awareness and of ourselves and our own patterns, and how everybody and everything is a cosmic mirror to us in some way, shape, or form. I am the same as everybody, but with different challenges. To understand that we all share the same unique life force energy. And then we're dispersed down here on Earth to play out our experiences together and separate, but we're not separate. So when we recognize that, when you're, again, like I was saying, when you have the ability to recognize yourself in everyone and everything, that is like complete expansion. And suddenly we're not feeling that envy towards others who may have something that you want And it's like, it's not a bad thing. It's like, I desire that too, but to be happy for them that they have it, not to form an opinion like, oh, they have it easy, and because you have no idea what their life challenges and life path are. None of us do. It is all such a unique learning experience. And we have fear. I realize that I'm testing my resolve to live in the energy of love. Once we work through all of these things, we will be able to create and bring down into actual form the relationships and the life experiences we truly desire to have. If you're still in conflict with your situation, if you're still unsettled in a relationship, in a job, in a home, in your life in general, you're working through the growth and the discipline each time you awaken in consciousness to another piece of yourself, working through envy and fear. Then you can create, then you've unpacked a lot of stuff for yourself. So it's good that we have that little window of time, but I am saying that we're getting close to some big things happening here with the eclipses. Expect powerful change. And we have, look at the bigger picture as the overall energy here. I was feeling that we're working towards forgiveness so that we can unite forgiveness of self and forgiveness of others, when we can see the bigger picture, when we can see how we were really cracking each other open, showing our demons through each other, to each other. Friendship. This is what is changing. I understand that a friend is in my life for a reason. So some of you may be having key people with soul contracts that are coming back into your life, or you may be meeting new ones, or you may be reconciling with someone that you both have worked through the fear and the envy, disciplining yourself to constantly check yourself and check the way you're seeing another and a situation. Are you taking that internally, or are you projecting that out towards somebody else? Forgiveness is the key. I acknowledge that harboring resentment blocks the flow of love, and we won't ever be able to get to that true adversity below that. We won't ever be able to get to that true unconditional love that is connected to the stream of unity consciousness. Then we're going to be spinning our wheels, showing each other our demons, our wounds, our pain, our anger, our envy, our fears, and creating more adversity. So this is and patience was below that. It is important to be patient through this process. There are a lot of us who have been very aware, and we're kind of just holding the line, so to speak, because we do feel a big something coming. It is an energy that you can feel. It's like overpowering, and it's like we don't know what it is, but it's almost like a baby's being born, or it's coming. You don't know when. You don't even know what it is. Like, you don't know if it's a boy or a girl. And this is just an analogy, but this is the feeling of this energy. And that waiting phase or waiting period. And typically, I read try not to wait, but it is a feeling like we're waiting for something. It's an anticipation. And through this phase, for those of us who are at that stage of the journey, it's important to engage yourself with what it is that you see yourself, your future self, evolving into. it's hard to fall into just a like, I'm tired, something's happening, I don't know what, and so I'm just going to wait. You'll kind of regret having this time that's sort of like a free-for-all, and you can really tap into some amazing creative energy. It does take discipline, it takes effort, it takes like following that intuitive hit. And there's a difference also between following your intuition, following a divinely inspired energy, and following oh, what was the word? Something that, an impulse. So if you get a wave of impulse to do something, it most likely has the feeling or the energy of like some anxiety or a little bit of like fear. Not a good kind, not like butterflies, like, oh, this is exciting, but like there's a little bit of an angst behind that. That's because it's linked deeper to a fear. Such as like my analogy of like, maybe I'll start putting my resume out there and applying for jobs, and that is linked to a fear. I feel that as soon as I go to do that, I'm like, oh no. Take a breath, and a divinely inspired impulse is influenced by your higher, by the stream of energy, and it's more laid back internally. It's like, okay, right, maybe I'll try here, I'll go here, I'll do this. And like there could be like a little bit of excitement there, but there's no anxiety. It's not tense, it's not angst. That's the difference. I mean, either way, you're gonna learn something. But just to save some of you some steps, you know, I keep looking at this card of fear, and if you're saying or doing anything with that anxiety in your energy or sensation or feeling, this you're acting on an impulse that's linked to a deeper fear. And most likely the outcome, and you know, you can look back in your past even, most likely it may be linked to something you truly desire, but the outcome either happens but it fizzles out, or it just doesn't work at all, or it's just really difficult and challenging. That is because, well, the energy behind your action was based on fear. That's number one, but it just wasn't divinely inspired. Okay. So that's how you can check in with your fears. If you want to know what underlying fears you may have in the subconscious, in the unconscious, check back to all the times that you've jumped into something, but you were scared, but you did it anyway, but it didn't quite work out. Now that there's a difference. I mean, we could still be a little afraid to take divinely inspired action, but it's not that the tension level is very different. All right, we have mental conflict here with the answers you need are coming. Try not to get stuck in the mind. Right now, this is kind of being deconstructed for us, especially with Mercury and Pluto square. That's why the answers you need are coming, and they may be coming in a very intense way. Very powerful, intense manner of receiving the answers that you need. But it will clear up this mental confusion here. Some of our patterns run so deep, we're not conscious to them. Like I was saying, that it just feels like it's who we are, and we read situations and people incorrectly. Shadow, nothing yet set in stone, because people are still working through their shadow work, meeting their shadow, seeing their shadow for the first time. And this is this takes some processing to really unpack. And that's why it's a really good time to kind of just have that void. Nothing's yet set in stone. We have the power through our emotional field to turn things around for ourselves, which ultimately may turn things around for others. However, don't have that as an expectation. If that's your intention and your intention only and not for yourself, it will not go well. It will not go well. So it's time to meet our shadow and greet our shadow and learn from the shadow. The shadow being these unconscious or subconscious aspects of ourselves that are linked to deeper trauma, deeper wounds that created coping mechanisms and patterns and things that were programmed into our mind robotically that we were not even aware of. These are all coming up and being shown to us in some way, shape, or form. And if you're conscious to actually seeing it and picking it up, I mean, with Pluto, it's going to be so intense. It's going to be hard not to be, but don't expect that everybody will. Wow. Moving on. Exactly. Moving on. Don't expect that everybody will. And this is linked to some friendships will come apart. Some relationships will come apart. Expect powerful change. Some of us, it is time to move on. Move into the light, move into living, move into the next phase of the journey of your personal path. We cannot sit back and wait for others. Trust me, I've done this too. It's actually becomes painful, and many challenges arise when we do that, and it actually it doesn't help anybody. It really doesn't help yourself or the other person or anybody around you. So it is important to move on your path towards the light, towards the green. See behind him, it's all dark and the leaves are dead, and he's got a compass now. His internal guidance system is saying, go this way. It's time to move on, move out of the dark. Here, this green's, everything's alive. There's light, material and spiritual prosperity. So there's going to be some great change. We're going to be able to see things from a higher perspective, looking at the bigger picture. And that's going to activate forgiveness of self, forgiveness of others, which will acquire a lot of wisdom, a lot of spiritual connection, which then is linked to the material. We'll start to have new opportunities and new things start to flow for us. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up with an oracle card because I didn't realize that I was on here for so long. But I'm feeling this. I'm feeling this reading. I'm feeling this energy. And I am actually seeing this in the physical already go down. So this is in alignment with everything that I've actually witnessed and experienced. Okay, advice for us all, please. And remember that we are all each other's teacher. No one is above or below anyone. Life is a spiral, and we're spiraling around each other. So it's not a matter of either of levels. It's just layers of the same spiral. When we were born here, we had a lot of our inner knowing eclipsed out, but it's coming back online. A merry motive. This looks like the smoke from when I saged earlier was swirling around my skylight. I don't think I've ever pulled this card before. You've chosen a path, you've set an intention, and you've begun to move towards a goal. You feel compelled to keep going, but do you know the why behind this drive? Do you truly want what you're pursuing, or are you chasing a destination with the anticipation of how it will make others feel about you or you feel about yourself? You must choose to be in the flow of the experience, relishing the moment. Surrender your expectations to a higher power rather than being guided by your limited self. The most important aspect to consider now is where you place your focus, because that's where the energy will flow. If you are resentful, the outer world will show you more opportunities to be resentful. If you are envious of others, competitive, and overly ambitious, you will always feel as if you are not enough. If you focus on gratitude and compassion for others, you will see even more reasons to be grateful and loving. When you look for abundance, it has an uncanny way of multiplying in your life. So if you're unsure about your motives, the results will be just as unclear. Dig deep to understand your why. If your true desire is to experience X, let go of your attachment to the form that X is supposed to come in. Make sure your motive is merry and joyful, clear and honest, and aim true. Trust that the universe will provide the outcome that is a perfect match for your intention. It always does. Oh, it's such a perfect way to end this. And that is exactly it. Through the shadow showing the intention behind everything. And we're getting a good look at our ego and our patterns, our motives, our intentions, as well as the intentions and motives of others. Where was that? What did I say that was from? Yeah, the Mercury in a square with Pluto. Pluto's very first aspect in Aquarius. So I feel like that's going to be one of the strongest energies that we are going to be moving through, or we are moving through. So I hope that this was helpful for you. And as always, sending you guys out so much love. Take care. Bye.